Welcome friends, my name is Tom. I will be your instructor. So I am going to assume that you have Visual Studio Community 2015 downloaded and installed. I'm going to go to Help and About Microsoft Visual Studio. And this is the version that I'm using right here with update number 1. Okay, let me close this. Click X. So let's make our first executable program as follows. Go to File, New, Project, and then if you want key combinations, Control-Shift-N is the key combo. Click it. From this panel here, select Visual C# as the language, and then Windows Forms application as the project type. Down below in the name text box, that's a box for entering text, so it's a text box, give it some meaningful names. So for example, we'll say Lesson 2, First Program. I'll call it whatever you want to call it. And then usually, it's a good idea to save it in a meaningfully named folder. That is the path. So the path simply tells you the physical location on your hard drive. If you want to navigate through it, place your cursor, and then if you hit End on your keyboard, it takes you to the end. If you hit Home, it takes you to the home. That's it, to the beginning of the path. And then click OK. So as you can see, this has the effect of loading a basic template that, believe it or not, is enough to run our program. So let's do that first. I will go to Build and then Build Solution, Control-Shift-B. And this brings up the output panel, which shows a file called lesson2firstprogram.exe. So right here, this is the path, and lesson2firstprogram.exe is the executable file. Now, a program basically is a collection of lines of code that is made into an executable file, so the operating system can launch the file, you can interact with the program, and then when you finish the program, you close it, and the program is unloaded from memory. So that's all it really is, essentially, regardless of whether you're using C#, for example, or Java or anything else. That's the basic logic. Okay, I'm going to close this panel by clicking X. And let's launch this. So click Start. And there's our little panel. Now, this panel has some features built in by default. So in other words, it's features that we don't have to code by hand. So first of all, you can minimize it. That means you can send it to the taskbar. So now it's at the taskbar, you see, down below. And then you can restore it by left-clicking. You can maximize it so it fills the screen. So click Maximize the little box. Then you can restore it to its original size. So upper right-hand corner, click Restore Down. And if you want, you can click X. That will unload it from memory and terminate the program. So do that now. And that's it. Now the output panel will show a lot of stuff. That's okay for our purposes. Doesn't matter that much. Just close it if you see it. Now, this here is a basic form with some features built in, as you've just seen. So what we're going to do now is change a little bit about the form as follows. Right-click on the form and then choose Properties. This brings up a panel called Properties. Properties are features that the form possesses that we can change often to, for example, control the appearance of the form. Now, this here is the Properties panel. So for example, you see where it says this one right here, text, and then form 1. Let's change that. That is the text property. So we'll change that so that it says, for example, something different like my form. And then hit enter. And the result is if you go to the form now, upper left-hand corner, it says my form instead of simply saying whatever it says by default when you just first created. Now it's been changed. Let's change one more property that the form possesses. So again, right-click, Properties, and for example, the back color, let's change that now. So the back color property, click the little drop down, and then choose the color that you want. Let's make it dramatic so it's easy to see. So I click over to Custom, that tab, and then I select, for example, this pinkish, and then it looks like that. And notice that this gives you a sequence of numbers, and the numbers represent the color and a specific kind of encoding. But the point is those numbers are the numerical equivalent of the color that you see there. And now when you launch the form, let's do that next, click Start again. It brings up the form. Now it's named My Form, and the back color is, as you see, different. Okay, close it. Close the output panel. If you don't see the toolbox, this is what you do. The toolbox contains items that we can drag and drop onto the form, like checkboxes, buttons, menu items, and so on. Stuff that you have probably interacted with before quite a few times at this point. If you don't see the toolbox, go to View and then Toolbox. So Control-Alt-X as a key combination, and now we'll show the toolbox. Also notice on the right-hand side of the program it says Solution Explorer. That is where the files that make up the program are stored and shown. So if you don't see that, go to Solution Explorer and click that. So that is Control-Alt-L as a key combination. But for our purposes, they're visible, which is what we want. Okay, so that is it. Again, we'll discover a lot more as we go through the course. Thank you so much for watching, friends, and I will see you in the next video.